and you don't have a thread of evidence that he didn't take his shahada. And this king is a man in which he spoke the truth. So when his wife grabbed onto the shirt of Yusuf and was calling him to bed with her, to commit zina with her, he called the wise man, and the wise man said to the king, if his shirt is torn from behind, he's speaking the truth, but if the shirt is torn from in front, the woman is speaking the truth. And his shirt was torn from behind. So Yusuf was running away from zina. Even though it was his own wife, the king admitted that his wife was in the wrong. The king said, Al-an hasal haq. Now the truth has surfaced itself. So the nature of the king is that he speaks the truth even if it was against his own kith and kin, his own family members. So you, the Saudi Salafi, who's saying the king was a kafir, what's your evidence that Yusuf was working for a kafir king? What's your evidence that he didn't take his shahada? Number 5, all Yusuf alayhi salam was doing was to allocate, to give out food and water to the people. All he was doing was to give out food. He was the minister, for example, the minister of agriculture. He was in charge of the treasury. He was allocating food and water to the people. He did not come with a sharia, and he did not leave off his sharia and follow the sharia of the king, which opposes his sharia. No, he was only giving out food and water to the king. And number 6, these salafis are seeking to assassinate the character of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam by comparing Prophet Yusuf to their corrupted scholars who sign on with the Kafir leaders and cement the throne of the Kafir leaders. How dare you compare Prophet Yusuf to your corrupted scholars? So with these 6 points, we refute their dodgy aqidah. They do not love and hate for the sake of Allah. Salafis don't practice al-wala wal-bara. Now the Christians have a trinity. God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. And the Hindus have a trinity, Ram, Sita, Hanuman. The Salafis have a trinity as well. Their trinity is the pound sterling or the dollar, technology, they want to drive the best cars, and the pleasures they get from women. These are the 3 false deities that they love more than Allah Ta'ala, and this is why they salat. They teach lopsided tawheed. So they tell you it's dangerous to pronounce a Muslim kafir, because if he's not a kafir, you become a kafir. Alhamdulillah. It's correct. If you pronounce a Muslim kafir and he is not a kafir, you become a kafir. But the other side of the tawheed is it's dangerous to pronounce a kafir Muslim. Because if you pronounce a kafir Muslim, you're going to marry a daughter to him. You're going to allow him to enter Mecca and Medina. You're going to allow him to gain access to the secrets of the Ummah, the Muslim Ummah. A kafir and a fire worshipper entered Medina and killed who? Omar. Why did that happen? Because they did not apply the rules of takfir on him. He came and killed the head of state, and he was a fire worshipper. So, if they had pronounced him a kafir, he would not enter the holy city of Medina, which kafirs are not allowed to enter. So the same way it's dangerous to pronounce a Muslim kafir, it's equally dangerous to pronounce a kafir Muslim. But Salafis don't tell you that. They teach you lopsided tawheed. They have a bid'ah in regards to takfir. First of all, they say takfir is not important, because it's not important to know who's a Muslim and who's a kafir, because on Judgment Day, Allah won't ask you who's a Muslim and who's a kafir. And we have established the fact on many occasions that you need to know who's a Muslim and who's a kafir, because kafirs cannot marry your daughters, they cannot inherit from you, they are not allowed to be buried in the burial ground of Muslims, and they are not allowed to gain access to the secrets of the Islamic State, and they are not allowed to enter the 2 holy cities of Mecca and Medina. But some scholars say they are not allowed to be in the entire Arabian Peninsula. And when there's a jihad, you need to know who to kill. So it's important to know who's a Muslim and who's a kafir. The Salafis claim that it's not important for you to know who's a Muslim and who's a kafir, because Allah won't ask you about that on Judgment Day. How do you know that? We were called what? Ummatan wasatan, the balanced nation. To do what? To be a witness against mankind, both in this dunya and in the hereafter. Both in this life and in the hereafter, we will be witnesses against mankind Allah said this in Baqarah 143, وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ وَيَكُونَ الرَّسُولُ عَلَيْكُمْ شَهِيدًا. Likewise, we have made you Muslims a balanced nation to be witnesses against mankind, both in this life and in the hereafter, while he, the Rasul, will be a witness against you. How do we know that on Judgment Day? What's the evidence that on Judgment Day you will be asked who is a Muslim and who is a Kafir? The incident with Noah and his people. His people say, we are innocent. Noah didn't come and tell us anything. And Allah will ask the Muslim, Allah will ask Noah, do you have witnesses that you warned the people, you gave the dawah? Noah will say, yes, my witnesses are the followers of Muhammad. So we will say to Allah, yes, Noah came and warned these people for 950 years and they rejected faith in his message. They died as kafirs. So on Judgment Day, we will be witnesses against every single one, including the witnesses over the people of Muhammad, the followers of Muhammad and the people that came long before Muhammad. So this incident refutes their argument that on Judgment Day you won't be asked who is a Muslim and who is a kafir. They went as far as to say that for you to call a person a kafir, his deed isn't sufficient. He has to say with his tongue, I'm a kafir, or I don't believe. That's their claim. An action is not sufficient to pronounce a man a kafir. The man has to say with his tongue, I'm a kafir. This is a bid'ah in regards to takfir. How do we know it's a bid'ah in regards to takfir? So we'll use Ibn Kathir to flush this dodgy aqidah down the drain. Ibn Kathir in volume 1, page 479, when he was giving the tafsir of the ayah, وَلَا تَنْكِحُوا مَا نَكَحَ آبَاؤُكُمْ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ إِلَّا مَا قَدْ سَلَفَ. Don't cohabit with women who your fathers cohabit with. You, the Muslims, don't go to bed with women who your fathers used to cohabit with. Because it is what? مَقَةً وَسَاءَ سَبِيلٍ. إِنَّهُ كَانَ فَاحِشَةً وَمَقَةً وَسَاءَ سَبِيلٍ. This is a fahisha, an evil, abnormal sexual act. Maqatan, abomination to Allah. Wasa'a sabila, and the worst of ways. When Ibn Kathir was given the tafsir of this ayah, which is Nisa 22, in volume 1, page 479 of his book, he said a man was sent to kill another man, and the man who the Prophet sent to kill the man was called Al-Harith. Al-Harith. He was sent to kill a man and confiscate his property. Al-Harith ibn Umayr. He was walking with the flag of the Prophet. And he was asked, where are you going? He said, I was sent to kill a man and seize his property. Why? He slept with his father's wife. Ibn Kathir said in his tafsir, we know that this man was killed as a kafir because his property was confiscated and it was handed over to the Baytul Mal, the Muslim treasure. So the Prophet didn't say, interrogate him and see if he said with his tongue, I believe what I did is halal. From the mere fact that he did what he did, this act of his was sufficient to make him become a kafir. Another deviant aqidah of theirs in regards to takfir is that they say you can't say the leaders are kafirs. Even though externally they fight Islam and kill Muslims, you can't say they're kafirs. Because you don't know their reality of the bosom. You don't know what's in their heart. Maybe inside their hearts, they believe that the Sharia is the best thing. So, you can't say they are kafirs. Now, whenever you read the Quran, you will see where Allah Ta'ala said in Surah Naml, verse 14, وَجَهَدُوا بِهَا وَاسْتَيْقَنَتْهَا أَنفُسُهُمْ ظُلْمًا وَعُلْوًا. That the Fir'aun and his army, outwardly, they fought the deen. Inwardly, they were convinced that Musa brought the truth. So the Pharaoh, in his heart, he was 100% convinced that Musa brought the truth. So if the Pharaoh was 100% convinced that Musa brought the truth, why did he die kafir? Because externally, he fought the deen. So Surah Naml, verse 14, tells you that if a person fights the deen externally with his limbs, that is sufficient to make him a kafir, even if in his heart he believes that Islam is the truth. So they need to read the Quran. But the reason why they make these blunders is because